A new day in a new country. What a wonderful thought to think about. I lazily sit and watch the world around me awaken to a new day. The sun gleaming onto the water, the soft breeze blowing through these beautifully manicured plants, and a frog croaking somewhere close. It was the perfect atmosphere to soothe my tired soul. The last few weeks had been extremely hectic. Planning and preparing for this trip had been extremely enjoyable, but at the same time, it was exhausting. Moreover, the long flight journey had drained me completely. We had an early morning flight from Jaipur to Bangkok. We then had a 12-hour long layover at Bangkok, and then again a 4-hour flight to Bali. And after spending entire 12 hours in Bangkok, looking at planes coming and going, I was quite done with being at the airport. But at the same time, I could not help but wonder how air travel had made everything so accessible. We had flown through countless cities and miles of ocean in just one day. And as I looked out of the window, all I could see was cities diminishing, moving far away from us, and the endless ocean stretched everywhere, holding chunks of land floating here and there. Finally, after a long wait that felt like eternity, we landed in Bali. And by the time we reached our stay in Ubud, it was almost 10. Most of the joints were closed by this time, but a few places were still bustling with people. So we simply chose the most crowded place we could see. The food was delicious and the ambience was perfect, sufficient enough to conclude the day. Finally, we had reached Bali. I woke up to the morning rays filtering through the room. In the broad daylight, I could finally figure out the actual place. It was a cozy property with well-maintained outdoors and colorful plants all around. Everything looked quiet and peaceful. Even though we had everywhere to go, I just enjoyed sitting there, listening to the soft falling water, basking in the glorious morning sun. After enjoying a relaxed breakfast by the pool, it was time to explore the city. For our first day, we had planned nearby places only, so that we could easily manage even after being low on energy. We first finished the necessary chores, got a scoopy, exchanged some money, and headed for our first place, Taman Dedari. Taman Dedari was a nearby restaurant known for its statues and sculptures. In Balinese language, Taman means park and Dedari means angel. Taman Dedari, or the Angel Park, is basically a restaurant with a tropical garden showcasing traditional Balinese design and architecture. As soon as you reach the entrance gate, a group of intricately carved stone statues, or the angels, welcome you into the premise. You enter a venue filled with statues of different size, scale, and design, hovering everywhere. Every nook and corner of this place is carved in detail, telling a story. And once you are inside, you see a lush green garden with giant angel statues placed at the far end of the valley, looking down upon us. As I sat there, looking at the harmonious surroundings around me, I was fascinated by the beauty of this place. Every angle, every scene was like a beautiful painting. Every element, every little detail was thoughtfully organized, coming together to form a mesmerizing work of art. The whole setting had a strange vibe of an enchanted place, far away from our normal world. Being surrounded by those giant statues, I felt like I was guarded by the angels. It is one of those feelings that is difficult to express, but is very moving. The restaurant is part of a resort complex descending down towards the Ayung River. There were various areas adorned with typical Balinese design elements. Large courtyards filled with champa trees, entrance gate with intricate carvings, and large mythical creatures carved on stone. Taman Dedari was a captivating oasis designed to preserve the Balinese culture. But it was time to make a move. Our next plan was to catch sunset at the Campuhan Ridge Walk, a gentle 2-kilometer nature trek with lush green scenery and hilltop views. It was an easy 10-minute drive through beautifully landscaped roads, when somewhere in between there was a steep road going down towards the ridge. At first, it is difficult to imagine that there can be a nature trek in the center of this bustling city area. But as you walk forward, the settlements start to fade away and nature starts taking over. The trek started from a typical Balinese temple where some religious ceremony was taking place. While the women were busy with carrying out the ritual, the kids sweetly posed for the video. Once past the temple, we moved ahead on the paved pathway leading towards the hilltop. We kept walking through stretches of dense groves and rice fields. The clouds had completely covered the sky, and the soft breeze blew through the valley. It all looked stunning, like a refreshing escape into nature, away from the constant hustle-bustle of the city. The whole experience was more like a meditative journey, where you stroll through picturesque views and scenic nature. By the time we reached the end, we were completely tired and hungry. I had wanted to visit the Karsa Cafe, which was a few meters away from the end of the trek, So we kept walking in the same direction. However, the scenery had completely changed. There were vast rice fields on both sides of the road, with traditional houses and structures scattered amidst them. Each house was thoughtfully landscaped with beautiful flowers blooming around. The whole place had a serene, tranquil vibe to it. Everyone seemed relaxed, sitting around leisurely, enjoying the moment. And the sky was lit with the most radiant golden light. Throughout the trek, the sky had been severely clouded, ruining our sunset plans. But as soon as we finished the trek and moved towards the other side of the village, the sun was finally back, painting the sky with the most picturesque skyscapes. And as the sun slowly moved through the rice fields, the sky became spectacular. The cafe looked exactly how I had seen it on social media. Rather, it was more beautiful than I had expected. The raised huts amidst the water ponds, rows of water lilies lining the water, and the giant fishes gliding around. Being there felt magical. Even though the entire day had been great, this part was definitely my favorite. Sitting there, enjoying my ginger tea, I felt extremely relaxed and peaceful. The whole place had the most calming effect on me. It felt like time had stopped and we were immersed in complete stillness. We got so captivated in the moment that we didn't even notice that it had gotten dark. As we made our way back to the parking area, we ended up trekking in complete darkness, which was definitely scary and rather foolish on our part. However, we somehow managed our way back to the hotel. Needless to say, the whole day had been quite a start to our journey. By the end of it all, we were super tired and decided to grab a light dinner. We strolled through the main market and decided to eat at the Oops restaurant. The place looked lively, and we decided to give it a try. We had some great food while we sat by the road and watched the local life unfold before us. And with that, we ended our first day, which had been quite eventful, but now I was ready to hit the bed. After all, there was so much to do tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed the day with me. See you with another vlog. Until then, thank you for sharing your time with me.